So Gen Z sometimes thinks that everything is problematic, and this story is no different. As in this story, this Gen Z kid tries to cancel Christmas. This is a pretty crazy one that I know you'll enjoy, so let's just jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted today's story James. So anyways, this all happened last year, and this all happened right before Christmas when James was still in school. So it was like early December when this happened, and James had a group of friends, and I don't know, they love playing like Minecraft and Fortnite together, and they'd get together every single weekend. So they decided, in spirit of the holidays, that they were going to do a Secret Santa for each other. And they were discussing the plans to do a Secret Santa when the Gen Z kid, who thought that Christmas was offensive, was sitting around the corner. And he overheard this conversation. So just to set the scene, James and his friends, who I don't know, I'm not going to give them names, I'll just say James's friends. James and his friends were sitting at a lunch table, and the Gen Z kid was sitting with the other standard Twitter users or whatever, bots, whatever you want to call them, right, sitting at another table. And the Gen Z kid overhears this, that they are going to be doing a Secret Santa for each other. And so the Gen Z kid gets up and walks over to their table. And he looks at them with this angry look. I don't know if you guys know about Nikocado Avocado, but you know that look he gives, like the angry look? The Gen Z kid basically did exactly that same look. And James and his friends, who don't really know the Gen Z kid, kind of like look up at him and kind of just are like, "Hey, dude, like, what's good, bro? How we doing right now? How's it going, bro? Like, I don't know you." So they're looking at him, and the Gen Z kid is giving that look, that angry Nikocado Avocado look. And, he's like, "Excuse me." And they're all just looking at him like, "Yes, bro? Like, what's good, man?" He's like, "Excuse me. Did my ears hear me correctly?" And, James and his friends are kind of just like, "Bro, what?" So the Gen Z kid is looking at him, and he's like, "I must have heard correctly then. Huh. Did you know that Christmas is offensive to me?" They're all just like, "Bro, what are you saying right now?" He's like, "I overheard that you want to have Secret Santa, and that will not be happening if I can do something about it. Did you know that Santa represents the patriarchy, and that giving some kids coal while giving other kids presents is obvious discrimination?" And they're all just looking at him like, "Bro, what, huh?" Like, just insert all the sound boom, fart effects, whatever, like on TikTok. Just all that stuff is going off in his head. He's just like, what is going on right now? So obviously, James and his friends are confused because they know that Gen Z kid is on Twitter 25 hours a day and he's terminally online, and he thinks that, nothing, he has no problems in his life, so he's got to find problems to make life more interesting, right? But, James and his friends kind of look at each other, and then they look at him, and then they look at each other, and then they look at him, and they're like, okay. They literally just say, okay, because, I don't know about you, dude, but I don't know how I would personally respond to all this. I would probably also respond, okay, bet, word, sounds cool, bro, have a good life, I don't know. And the Gen Z kid says, "If you guys think that you're gonna get away with having Secret Santa on school grounds, then you're wrong, you're wrong." And they're all kind of just looking at him like, "We just want to give presents." And James literally says, "We're just giving presents to each other because we're friends. Like, is that really that bad?" And the Gen Z kid is like, "Yes, it is. I've already gone over the reasons why Christmas is offensive and I will not let it happen." Bro's not happy, basically. I don't know if he was exactly saying that, but it's the gist of it. It's the gist of it. So James is like, whoa, Lois, this is not my Batman cup. And what, why? Why can't we have presents, bro? It can't honestly be that deep. And the Gen Z kid says, "You have been warned, mister. You have been warned." And he goes back to sit down at the Twitter table, goes back in his phone, goes back to endlessly scrolling TikTok, turning his brain into brain rot. You'll love to see it. You already know, right? So James and his friends kind of look at each other, because now they're thinking to themselves, okay, are we going to do this or not? Now I'm kind of scared because, like, I get it. Gen Z kid isn't going to beat me up, but bro could send the Twitter mob against me. And Twitter is real life, and it really matters. So James and his friends sit there for a second, and James kind of speaks up. He's like, boys, what are we doing right now? Why are we even considering caving to this guy? Because this guy, like, we're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with giving each other presents in the spirit of the holiday. Like, we don't even need to call it Secret Santa. We just called it that because that's a common phrase that people use. It's simply not a big deal. And so they're all just looking at each other, and James is like, dude, we can't bend to the whims and needs of everyone, especially if it's not a big deal. He said, this would be ridiculous if we didn't make sure to do Secret Santa on school ground. So basically, James and his friends decided that in spite of what the Gen Z kid was screaming at them, that in fact, because they were on the edge of not doing it at all, like it was literally just an idea that James floated like 30 seconds before the Gen Z kid walked over to their table and blew a gasket, right? It was like a second before then. Like they didn't even know if they were going to do it. But ever since the Gen Z kid came over and proclaimed that he was not going to allow it, then like, dude, they're going to make sure that they do it. Because whenever you tell a kid, especially like parents, whenever you like forbid your kid from something, even if it's a good reason, they're just going to seek it out even more. Like, I know that when I was a kid, for actually quite a while, my parents were like, you cannot watch South Park. You cannot watch a single drop of it. So, like, I never watched full episodes as a kid, but I would literally look up clips online and be like, OMG, this is so crazy. Honestly, kind of just because it was forbidden, right? I know my mom watches all my videos, so yes, that's how I got the inspiration for my Pug animations back in 6th grade, Mom. Now you know. It's not like you didn't know, but now you know again. So yeah, they decided that just because the Gen Z kid told them that they couldn't do it because it was offensive, that nope, that doesn't mean anything, bro. That in fact, they're going to do it even more. So yeah, the next day comes around, and sure enough, James and his friends at lunch come in with presents. And they make sure that they're so obviously presents because they come in and they wrap them up in like standard Christmas wrapping paper. They have a big bow on it, and they make a big announcement to each other like, wow, James, thanks for your Secret Santa present. Wow, Ben, thanks for your present during Secret Santa. I'm enjoying Secret Santa so much, just to make sure that they annoy the Gen Z kid. And is it good to annoy other people? Not generally, but you know what? In this situation, I'm going to give a pass, bro. I'll be real. I'm going to give them a big old pass. Yeah, so the Gen Z kid notices this, and the Gen Z kid's face goes red like a tomato. He is so angry. So the Gen Z kid walks over. He's like, what? What is this? No, I said that this was not okay. You guys were warned, and you did this anyways. Yeah. The Gen Z kid cannot believe himself. Wow, they would do something offensive just despite the Gen Z kid. Oh no. So the Gen Z kid goes back to the table to consult all the other Twitter users, right? All the other Twitter users, the massive brains at the table so they could consult each other. And, oh yes, this is the most powerful echo chamber of all time. We will destroy anything and everything in front of us. So yeah, sure enough, the Gen Z kid goes back to sit down at the table, and they discuss, with their big brains, they discuss what their next move shall be. So for now, James and his friends are peacefully enjoying a wonderful Secret Santa. So guys, the Gen Z kid is coming for revenge. As you guys can probably tell by the title and by this story so far, the Gen Z kid is angry. And like many Gen Z kids, and let me just say that I am a part of the Gen Z generation. Don't worry, I know a lot of you guys are, and I'm not saying Gen Z, meaning all of you. If you're watching this channel, you're probably pretty cool, so you're not involved in the Gen Z term. But the Gen Z kid, like many other Gen Z kids, believes that they are right, no matter how ridiculous and lack of logic their arguments may have. So the Gen Z kid is about to plot a protest. He is about to protest James and his friends for doing Secret Santa. Let's go. So sure enough, right, James and his friends, they finish up lunch and they have a really good time. Secret Santa, they give each other presents because it's Secret Santa. The secret word of the day is Santa. So if you made it this far into the video, comment Santa down below. And also, if you haven't already, listen on Spotify. It's in the pinned comment down below if you're a Spotify user. And if you're listening right now on Spotify, thank you. And rate the podcast 5 stars. Anyways, so once they were done with their Secret Santa, they went back to their class. So after lunch, James and all their friends had class together. The Gen Z kid was not in class with them. So the Gen Z kid is actually going to make an appearance in this class, but not in the way you think. So James and his friends really think that this whole saga is done because they think to themselves, okay, at this point, what else can the Gen Z kid really do? And like, genuinely, what else can the Gen Z kid do? Haha, you guys are about to see. So they don't even think about this. And oh my God, Diesel Patch is just uploaded. This is Christmas already. Sorry, just got a notification. But anyways, right, so sure enough, these kids are, they go back to class and life is good and whatever, things are good. And they've completely forgotten about the incident with a Gen Z kid. They're sitting in class, probably thinking about the presents that their friends got them, in a really good holiday mood. Things are cheery, life is good. So remember, they're in class right now and the teacher is teaching. It's a normal day in class. And that's when the door opens. And 3 kids walk in, the Gen Z kid and then 2 other Twitter users that the Gen Z kid is friends with. And they walk in and they do the craziest thing ever. So basically, they're holding up signs. They must have made in like the last 20 minutes in like the arts and crafts room or something. And it was like, the sign says, cancel James, he supports Christmas, and then the other 2 say cancel, then the other names of the friends, right? So they walk in there and they have a little chant. It's like some really little crappy chant or something. It's like, cancel James, he supports Christmas, and Christmas is offensive. I don't know if that's actually it. That might be way too goofy to be real, but it's definitely something along the lines of just something ridiculous, something that makes no sense. But dude, James and his friends are completely thrown off guard by this because I don't know about you, but if me and my friends decided to do Secret Santa, we probably wouldn't imagine that like 20 minutes later, there would be an active protest in our classroom, bro. Like, I don't know about you, but that's just not something I would expect to happen. So the teacher is just completely thrown off by this. The teacher doesn't know how to handle this. So what the teacher does is the teacher throws out the protesters, but also throws out James and his friends. I think the teacher thinks that they're all friends or something and that they planned a little prank. And obviously this was not a prank, or at least, it wasn't a prank that they all planned together. So now, super awkwardly, the teacher tells all of them to go to the principal's office. And if she hears that they don't all go to the principal's office, they're going to be in real big trouble. So they have to awkwardly walk to the principal's office, half of them carrying signs saying, protest the other one, while James and his friends are just like, I don't know, like one of James's friends was laughing. The other one was kind of freaking out a little bit because I don't know, he doesn't want to be protest. And James himself is just mostly confused. He's like, why would you spend your time and energy doing this? And then James remembers, oh, wait, you spend 7 hours a day on Twitter minimum. That's like a light day of Twitter usage right there. So you know what? Actually, man, I understand. I can see where you're coming from. So eventually they get to the principal's office and the principal looks at them and just looks at, the principal's just looking at them with this kind of look because he sees 3 guys, James and his friends, and then Gen Z kid and the 2 Twitter users. And the Gen Z kid and the 2 Twitter users are holding signs saying protest and then the names of the kids next to them because they support Christmas, because they support Secret Santa. Santa gives out coal to some kids. That's offensive. Something stupid like that, right? And the principal already knows that he's about to have some nonsense on his hands, dude. Yeah, so the principal's like, hello, guys. How's it going? And the Twitter user's like, don't say guys, that's offensive. And he's like, okay, everyone. Come on in. So, what is going on with you all? I see, and he looks at the Twitter user and Gen Z kid. I see you guys are having a bit of a disagreement over something. And the Gen Z kid says, so I will tell you all about it, and I hope that they get in big, big trouble. And James and his friends are kind of like, bruh. So the Gen Z kid's like, so basically, I was at lunch yesterday, and they were talking about Secret Santa. And if you don't know, Secret Santa is inherently offensive because, and then goes on to list all the really strange reasons about why Christmas must be canceled and all this kind of stuff, right? And so, the principal is kind of looking at this kid like, bro, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, upside down question mark. And the kid's like, so when they actually decided today to come in to my lunchroom, and the principal's like, our lunchroom, my lunchroom, and do Secret Santa, despite knowing that it is extremely offensive to me, I thought that they needed to be protested immediately, and I hope that you will agree with such a logical statement. And then the Gen Z kid turns to the two Twitter users. Do you guys agree with me? And they both nod their heads like, yes, this person is so right. Gen Z kid is so on point. Facts, snap, snap. Yes, you're so right. You're awesome. You're great. You have never been wrong ever. This is definitely not symptoms of an echo chamber right now. Yes. So the principal turns to James and his friends and kind of looks at them to give a look of like, what's your side to this very strange ordeal? And James and his friends are like, look, we wanted to do Secret Santa. We were talking about doing Secret Santa. And that's when, after like a minute of discussing maybe doing Secret Santa, Gen Z kid over here walks over to our table and starts screaming at us for no reason, saying that like Christmas is offensive and all this kind of stuff, and like Santa like discriminates or whatever, and I don't even know what's going on. So we decided that we were going to do it. Yes, I'll admit it's like we decided to do it partially because we were trying to do it in spite of the Gen Z kid. Okay, fair. You got me on that. Congratulations. But also like we just wanted to give presents to each other because we're friends. I really don't think, I don't think there's an issue there. It's not like this was school sponsored and they could say that school is sponsoring one holiday tradition and not another. This is just a thing we chose to do on our own. And the principal's like, turns to the Gen Z kid and says, okay, so they gave presents to each other. So you did what again? And the Gen Z kid said, I did what anyone would do in the situation. And James, the subscriber James, just kind of looks at the principal with this look of, this is what we're dealing with, sir. This is what we have to deal with right now. And the Gen Z kid goes on to be like, yes, I did what anyone else would have done in the situation, obviously. And it's just kind of like, the principal's like, elaborate. And the Gen Z kid's like, so me and my friends, points to the two Twitter users, we decided to go real quick to the craft laboratory. And we decided to make these posters real quick just to make sure we got our point across. And we went into the school directory, we found his name, we went into the school system, we figured out what class he had, and the principal's like, wait, you did this so quickly, what? He's like, yes, maybe we stalked him beforehand too, whatever, that is totally irrelevant information to the situation right now. That is irrelevant to the situation at hand. But anyways, we found his class, and we went in there, and we were just making our voices heard. Principal, man. Don't you want us to express our feelings? Isn't that what you're always talking about? How we should say what we think? Yeah, so basically what happened was James and his friends were sent back to class, no punishment. The Gen Z kid and the Twitter users, they got a light punishment, no actual, suspension or anything. They had to write the teacher of James's class an apology for disturbing the class, and after that, the principal said he doesn't want to hear any more of this nonsense from this point on from them.